You may be eating these every single day, and yet your legs feel weaker. Getting out of a chair takes more effort. Walking around the grocery store leaves you winded. It's not just age, it might be what's on your plate. Because after 60, certain foods don't just sap your energy, they actually destroy your leg strength. Muscle loss, poor circulation, joint pain, and it all starts with what's in your kitchen. Stay with me, especially for the third food on this list. It's marketed as healthy, but it quietly weakens your bones and muscles over time. Let's get into it. Here's something most people don't know. After the age of 60, we lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass every year. It's part of aging. But what's not often talked about is how diet can accelerate that loss by 30% or more, especially in the legs. And your legs matter more than you think. When your leg muscles weaken, everything becomes harder. Standing, climbing stairs, balancing, preventing falls. And here's the scary part. Once leg strength drops too low, even walking across the room becomes risky. Many seniors lose their independence because they can no longer rely on their legs. But the biggest mistake, most people focus only on exercises or physical therapy, and they forget food. So let's change that. Here are 5 foods silently eating away at your leg strength, and what you can do instead. Mistake. 1. Processed foods with trans fats. Let's start with a silent destroyer hiding in plain sight. Trans fats. You'll find them in things we grew up thinking were convenient. Packaged cookies, frozen breakfast sandwiches, microwavable pies, non-dairy creamers, even some low-fat snacks and margarine spreads. For seniors, these foods might feel easy. No cooking, just heat and eat. But the long-term cost is your leg strength. Here's the science. Trans fats interfere with a process called muscle protein synthesis. That's how your body repairs and builds muscle. And according to the Mayo Clinic, these fats can reduce that ability by up to 50%. That means you lose strength faster and gain it back slower. And your legs take the biggest hit. But there's more. Trans fats also increase inflammation, which narrows your blood vessels. That restricts blood flow to your muscles, especially your calves and thighs. And when muscles don't get enough oxygen or nutrients, they weaken. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 71. For years, his breakfast routine was simple. Frozen sausage sandwich and coffee. Fast, familiar. But every morning, his legs felt stiff. Getting up from his recliner took effort. Climbing stairs, a chore. At his checkup, his doctor didn't start with medication. He started with Harold's grocery list. They found partially hydrogenated oil on half the labels. Harold made one change. He swapped his frozen breakfast for scrambled eggs, spinach, and whole grain toast. Within weeks, his stiffness eased. His knees felt lighter. And the stairs? No longer an obstacle. Have you checked your food labels lately? If you see trans fat or partially hydrogenated oil, it's time to rethink. Because trans fats aren't the only danger hiding in everyday meals. The next one is sweet, sneaky, and just as damaging. Let's talk about that next. Mistake number 2. Refined sugars. Let's move from salty to sweet, because this next mistake feels innocent, even comforting. Sugar. But not just candy. We're talking about the refined sugar hiding in everyday foods you wouldn't suspect. Healthy breakfast cereals, granola bars, flavored yogurts, bottled smoothies, even pasta sauce and ketchup. And here's the danger. Refined sugar doesn't just spike your blood sugar, it weakens your muscles, especially the ones you count on to walk, stand, and stay balanced. The science is clear. Excess sugar triggers chronic inflammation throughout the body. It damages nerves, inflames blood vessels, and makes your muscles more resistant to insulin. That means less energy reaches your cells, and recovery slows. Over time, this leads to fatigue, pain, and weakness in the legs, especially after meals. Let me introduce you to Joanne. She's 65. She started every day with fruit yogurt, granola, and a banana. It felt healthy, light, energizing. But by 10 a.m., her knees ached, her thighs felt like lead, and she needed to sit more often during her morning walk. Her doctor ran a simple test. Blood sugar spike after breakfast, then crash. The culprit? Nearly 35 grams of added sugar in that one meal. So, Joanne swapped in unsweetened Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and a few berries. Within a week, her energy stabilized, and those heavy, aching legs felt lighter. Her afternoon walks, twice as long. Have you checked the sugar in your breakfast lately? Even one healthy choice could be weakening your legs. And as you'll see next, sugar's cousin might be even worse. It's something salty, processed, and shockingly common in senior diets. Let's look at that next. Mistake number 3, high sodium foods. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. It's not sweet, but it's still silently weakening your legs. Salt. More specifically, excess sodium hiding in everyday foods. You may think, salt is just about blood pressure. But here's the truth. Too much sodium can directly affect your legs. How? It causes fluid retention, especially in the lower body. It increases inflammation in joints. It reduces circulation, cutting off oxygen to your leg muscles. When blood flow slows down, your legs pay the price. They feel heavier, swollen, sluggish. Even short walks can feel exhausting. Let me share Barbara's story. She's 74, lived alone. Her freezer was stocked with microwavable meals and canned soups. She didn't like to cook, and who could blame her? But by late afternoon, her ankles were often swollen, her thighs stiff. Her energy? Gone. Her doctor checked her sodium intake, over 3,000 milligrams a day, double the recommended amount. Barbara didn't need pills, she needed a pantry makeover. She switched out her frozen dinners for baked salmon and roasted vegetables. She tossed the canned soup and made her own with herbs, garlic, and lemon. In just 10 days, yes, 10, her swelling dropped. Her legs felt lighter, and her afternoon walk came back. Have you checked the sodium in your lunch or dinner? Even healthy frozen meals can contain over 800 milligrams per serving, and salt isn't the only hidden danger. The next one? It's in your snacks, and its chemicals could be silently robbing your muscles and bones. Let's look at that next. Mistake number 4, packaged snacks with artificial preservatives. Now let's talk about something even more sneaky. Packaged snacks. They seem harmless, convenient, tasty. But for your legs, they can be a slow poison. Why? Because most packaged snacks are loaded with artificial preservatives. Chemicals like nitrates, nitrites, and BHT. These compounds are used to make food last longer. But they come with a price. Here's what the science says. Preservatives can increase inflammation and interfere with how your body absorbs calcium, a mineral critical for strong bones and muscles. They can also disrupt the nervous system's signals to your muscles, making your legs feel unsteady or weaker than usual. And when it comes to leg strength, that disruption matters. It can mean slower reflexes, poorer balance, a higher risk of falls. Let me tell you about Carl. He's 69 and lives with his grandson. Every afternoon, Carl reached for a bag of chips or a few slices of beef jerky. Easy, satisfying, familiar. But over time, his balance declined. He stumbled more, even in the hallway. His doctor ruled out a stroke, but found elevated markers of inflammation. The culprit? Carl's daily snack routine, loaded with preservatives, sodium, and zero real nutrition. He made a simple shift. Air-popped popcorn with olive oil, sliced apple with peanut butter, a boiled egg, or a handful of walnuts. Within weeks, his energy returned, his balance improved, and he felt steadier on his feet. Here's a quick tip. If the ingredient list on your snack reads like a chemistry textbook, put it back. Because the next mistake, it isn't in a snack, it's in your cooking oil. And it's the one mistake nearly every senior makes without realizing it. Let's talk about that next. Mistake number 5, omega-6 heavy oils and fried foods. We've talked about sugar, salt, and preservatives. But this last mistake, it's hiding in your cooking pan. And it might be the one doing the most damage over time. We're talking about omega-6 heavy oils and fried foods. Now, omega-6 fats aren't evil. In small amounts, they help the body function. But the problem comes when your diet has too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3. And that's exactly what happens when you rely on corn oil, soybean oil, vegetable oil, canola oil in excess, packaged salad dressings, deep-fried foods. This imbalance fuels chronic inflammation, the kind that doesn't go away. It silently eats away at your joints, nerves, and muscle fibers. According to research published in PubMed, seniors with high omega-6 intake and low omega-3 intake showed significantly lower limb strength and slower walking speeds. And most seniors don't even know they're making this mistake daily. Meet Deborah. She's 66 and loved cooking, but always used vegetable oil, fried chicken on Sundays, stir fry with bottled sauces, store-bought dressing on her salad. She wasn't overweight, but she felt inflamed. Her knees throbbed. Her legs ached after 10 minutes of standing. Her nutritionist spotted the pattern. Too much omega-6, not enough omega-3. So Deborah made small shifts. She switched to olive oil, added salmon twice a week, used avocado instead of bottled dressings. 3 weeks later, her pain eased, her energy rose. She walked farther, with confidence. Have you looked at the oils in your pantry? That one swap could be the turning point for your leg health. And now that we've covered the 5 biggest food mistakes, let's talk about what you can do next, starting today. You've just seen 5 common foods quietly working against your legs. The damage feels invisible until you stand up, and it's harder than last year. But change doesn't start with perfection. It starts with awareness and one small step. Let's recap what to watch out for and the better choices you can make today. Let's take a moment to review the 5 food mistakes silently draining your leg strength. Trans fats, found in processed foods, block muscle repair and fuel inflammation. Refined sugars, spike insulin, inflame nerves, and leave your legs tired. High sodium meals cause swelling and poor blood flow to your muscles. Preservative-packed snacks weaken bones and disrupt nerve signals. Omega-6 heavy oils inflame joints and delay leg recovery after activity. Each one chips away at your strength, but each one is replaceable. Deborah, Carl, Barbara, they didn't need a personal chef, just awareness and a few better choices. Now you have the same knowledge. Start small. One food, one swap, one step closer to stronger legs. What's your next move? Let us know in the comments. We're in this together. Up next, one habit that may be undoing all your progress, even if you eat clean. Let's wrap this up. Your legs carry more than your weight. They carry your freedom. Every step you take, to the mailbox, through the store, across your living room, depends on strength you build or lose with every bite. But now, you know better. Avoiding just 5 foods could mean fewer stumbles, more stable walks, and years of independence. So ask yourself, is what I'm eating helping me stay on my feet, or knocking me off balance? If this video helped you, give it a like, and share it with someone over 60 who deserves to move freely. And be sure to subscribe, because in our next video, we'll expose one daily habit that drains leg strength. Even if you eat perfectly, you won't want to miss it.